Hey everyone, welcome back for another video. I guess this will be I was tagged in my truth challenge. It's basically a Q&A, but people can ask truthfully, and I was tagged by Delightfully Dawn, and I'll make sure I'll leave her channel name in the description box because she's been wanting me. First question is, how old are you? I am 23 years old. What are some challenges as a YouTuber? So one challenge for me, I feel like, is being consistent, not in the sense of me actually filming the videos. Like, I don't have a problem doing that because I pre-record my videos, but it's more so being consistent. Your following is not as big as you would like it to be, and I say that because, you know, I push a lot of content out, and then I see some people sometimes be discouraging in that sense because, you know, you're just pushing out all these videos, but you don't really necessarily have, not that I make ridiculous goals either for the months. Like, I just started, like, every year I try to get at least 50 to 100 subscribers. That's like my goal. I was able to do that from January into February, and now or just finding people in your niche who are willing to collab, because you don't necessarily have to collab with people who in your same range. It could be people who are bigger YouTubers, because enough traffic to both parties. So, but yeah, I think it's a great way to help your channel grow. That's just my opinion. 3 is, have you ever been in a relationship before? My tea for this. I'll take a sip. I'm playing. So to me, when I think about relationships, I think about serious, committed relationships. So I'm gonna truthfully answer that question as a no. I think if you were dating anybody like in high school and middle school, elementary, if you date, like, to me, honestly, that doesn't really count unless you were really serious. If you dated a person for like a month, said for 1 plus 2 years. I'm not saying that people who are in a relationship for like 6 months or less than 6 months were in a relationship, but I just feel like it's not like, okay. So I don't consider, in my college years, I didn't date anybody. Single, still single. So yeah. What are your 2019 goals outside of YouTube? 2019 goals outside of YouTube is definitely to have a higher income, grow my bank account, because I want to pay off my student loans. I know I'm not going to pay them off this year, that's for sure, but I want to be able to, I'm just free of it, and I don't have to think about them anymore, because student loans are no joke. They don't play with their money. And made you go natural? So one day, like, my mom did the big chop, and then the next month I told my mom, you could chop mine too, and that's basically how I became natural. It wasn't like something like we're like, oh, by this year we're gonna be natural. It was just kind of like on the whim. What are your favorite hair products right now? You guys are probably gonna tired of me saying that, but yes, the Suaves with shea butter, coconut oil line. I also like Yadane products. There's Yadane Cultural Solutions. They are a black-owned business. Products are made of natural ingredients. I own a lot of their products, actually. Next question is, would you get a perm? And I guess they're asking this because I've started to see some YouTubers, they've been naturals for years, and all of a sudden they decide to go back to perm. I think that's nonsense. To me, if my natural hair is getting so unbearable, then I'm gonna put my hair in a protective style. Like right now I have a wig on. Like, find something to do, but I'm not gonna go put my hair in a relaxer because I'm getting tired of it. My hair was thin, really thin when I had perm hair. It was long, but it was like thinning, so it was time for me to chop it anyway. I mean, who is your favorite YouTuber? That's I like a lot of YouTubers. But I guess if you want me to pick one, and I'm going to pick one that I haven't mentioned before. Bossy Life. Well, she has 2 channels. She has Just Boss and Beauty, which is her channel for, like, her beauty and, like, stuff about her life. Well, stuff about, like, if she does story times and stuff like that, she'll do it on that channel. But anything that she has a vlog channel called Bossy's Life, and that's catered to her family. She has 5 kids, and I really like her. She's funny and she's cool. A cool family channel. So the next question is, what made you start YouTube? basically started YouTube on a whim. Like, don't look at my old videos, but I was using the same, yeah, it was kind of like I've been watching YouTube and I was always saying start a YouTube channel. I was talking to like my family members, but then it ended up being me. One day I was just like, I didn't have nothing to do and I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna start a YouTube channel. And that's how I started my YouTube channel. It was just, when you say like you're gonna do something, like I could have waited and waited, but I was like, what am I waiting for? Let me just start my YouTube channel. So I just started it, even though my content probably looks horrible at that time. You know, I'm still gonna grow. But yeah, so that's what made me. What's your thoughts on sister locks? They aren't for me. I'm be 100. Funny story about sister locks. So I was gonna get them, and even my young sister was like, don't get them, because she knows that like I like to change my hairstyle every so often and I probably couldn't deal with them. And she was right. My mom said the same thing, because first of all, I don't like when my hair looks all tiny and small. When I do mini twists, I can wear them, but like I can't wear them out. I don't know if I'm just going to the supermarket, but like in general, like if I were going somewhere, I wouldn't want to wear it. Mini twists basically remind me of what sister locks would have looked like on me, and I would not like it. And the time when I was thinking about doing it was last year. My mom went ahead and she has them, so she has them. My aunt has them. My aunt has it for a minute. I think they look cute though, but they're expensive, so that's another reason why I was like, first of all, to install it's expensive, and then you have to always get your retightenings, which are $100. Well, it's $100 where my mom goes, but I don't know, it depends where you go. So I'm like, no, I might as well just do my natural hair. And I mean, it's costly, but not that costly. Feel me? So sister locks is not something, also it's not easy to take out. Like dreadlocks, you can take them out and get your hair back. You can't really do that with sister locks. You probably would have to chop it all off, and I'm not with that. I'm not. Next question is, what about yourself? Are you working on loving more? This is a very like thought-provoking. I really have to. What about yourself are you working on loving more? My voice. And I'm not talking about my speaking voice. A lot of people say that I have a nice speaking voice, but I don't know. I guess when I'm filming and I watch it back, I'm like, oh, I don't know, it's cringy when you listen to yourself. But, you know, shout out to all those people who say I have a nice speaking voice. Because I get that a lot. Not a lot of people, but people have told me that. Voice, working on bettering myself. I mean, I don't go to singing classes or anything. I just sing when I sing. And if you saw my previous video, I really only sing like in church activities. I don't really sing anywhere else. Not like I go to place events and sing or something. But I guess I can work on loving that more in terms of nurturing my voice, my vocal cords. I don't know if that really answered the question, but yeah. This question is, what are your views on the LGBT? So that's basically it's lesbian, gays, bisexual, and transgender, right? So here's my thing. I'm straight. I only like men, but I don't discriminate against anybody who is part of the LGBT community. Here's why. Well, for one, I mean, I should say this. So being that I'm a Christian, 9 times out of 10, many Christians believe like, oh my gosh, we shouldn't talk to people. I mean, they don't say we shouldn't talk to them, but it's more so like that's what they're basically trying to say, because they're like, oh, like, oh, condemn them and stuff like that. But me personally, like, that's not me. That's not something I'm personally, in terms of like relationship wise. But I don't condemn anybody who's a part of it, because I mean, I've worked with people in the LGBT community, so it's not like something, and I never was just like, oh my gosh, you're a lesbian, or you're gay, oh my gosh, I can't talk to you. Like, I feel like most of the people, at least from my personal experience, most of the people that I've worked with, they weren't the type of people who were like, who was pushing like their sexuality on you. They were like chill about it, so I never felt like uncomfortable to talk to them. They just talk like normal people. And I mean, yes, maybe they have a little, even though it probably didn't make me feel uncomfortable when you're working. And it's funny because all the people that I did work with in the part of the LGBT community, it's all in childcare settings, which is interesting. But anyway, interesting though is because, you know, there are certain situations where kids, their parents tell them, and that was an issue in one of my jobs where the kid, he did not want this guy to be his teacher because he felt as though, why is he acting this way and all this stuff. I mean, he was entitled to his opinions, but the thing that the kid went wrong is that he was very disrespectful in the way he was talking to the teacher. So that was like, just because you don't agree with something does not mean you have to act a certain way towards a person. I mean, people are, at the end of the day, people are humans just like you. There's no reason for me to be like, oh my gosh, oh, like, you can have a normal conversation without doing all the extras. What are some things you want to improve / work on in your life? Oh, so somebody did ask me that question. Here you go. There you go. I think, well, this is something I think anybody can always improve on, and that's just my speech in terms of talking in front of people. So with kids, it's different. But when you were talking in a big setting with a lot of people, you know, I still at sometimes, like, I can go up and just talk a bunch, and then there's other times where I'm kind of shy and laid back and I don't want to participate. So it's iffy for me, and I'm an introvert anyway. So definitely, but I feel like that's something that I'm always working on. There's never like a time when I'm not working on that. And I guess that ties in also with that whole, you know, speech thing, just being confident in myself as a person. I'm not saying that I'm not confident, but, you know, sometimes I got my days. I'm human. Communication. I want to work on my communication, but I feel like that goes both ways, communicating with people and vice versa. But we're not talking about other people, we're talking about Abigail. So yeah, just communication wise, because sometimes, like, I feel like I'll talk to people and they take it a certain way, or I'm talking to another person and I take it some type of way. So just kind of like letting go, in a sense. When something, you know, somebody says something, just brushing it off. I have a tough skin to a certain extent. Like, for YouTube, I really don't care. It doesn't bother me. Like, my question is, what is the first thing you notice about someone? Yeah, when I was reading the question, thinking about it in my head, like, I would say I notice their vibes. Does that make sense? So what I mean by that is, like, when I first introduce myself, I don't expect the person to be like, I'm like sick. I don't be like, I'm not that type of person who's like, hello everybody. No, I'm like, hi, you know, especially if I first know you. Like, if we're close now, I'm gonna be like, hey, what's up? But if you're just like, I'll be like, hi, how are you, or something, and keep pushing. So but I notice how, like, you can tell, like, when people are being fake when you say hi to them or whatever the case. So I guess, like, that's what I noticed about a person, like, their vibes. Like, are they gonna send out good vibes, or do they have bad vibes? Does that make sense? Like, somebody, like, you just like, okay, when I see this person, I'm not gonna even bother talking to them because it doesn't even make any sense. They got an attitude or whatever the case be. Because, I mean, I can have an attitude too, but I feel like it's inevitable. I feel like in every job there's always going to be that one person who doesn't like you, or the one person who always has an attitude, and that just happens, and you got to keep it pushing. Like, if I feel like you're that type of person who's just like, okay, I'm not going to, anytime I say something you don't say anything, then that's what I know about you, and I'm just like, okay, so I'm never going to talk to you again. And the last question is, if you could travel anywhere in the world, where would you go? I've been wanting to go to Spain since the Cheetah Girls movie, okay? Since the Cheetah Girls 2 movie, and I still haven't gone. But it's an expensive trip, granted, so, like, that's something I have to save up for. I mean, I've been out the country, but going to, like, Europe and like, places like France and Italy, it's costly, you know? So I would definitely want to go to Spain, and I also want to go to France too. Those are the two places, because for France, the reason why is because I took French in high school and I took it in college because I liked French in high school. I've always just wanted to, like, really see it up and close and personal, because one thing reading about these places in the textbook and actually experiencing it. And yeah, so that's all for my truth Q&A. I don't know what I'm gonna title this video, but make sure you hit the like button, make sure you comment down below, and make sure you subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.